Yeah. Every week we coming live with it. Number one show, yeah, you know we top 5 with it. Shout out to the host, Miss Lex Alexander. If you have a hot topic, you should ask her to cover it. Audience loving it. Clap, clap, bravo to the show that keeps you company. From politics to entertainment, relationships, spiritual awakening. Yeah, we cover it all. Food for thought for my sisters and brothers involved. From that 318 to 225 for real. 504 to 985, you feel? Yeah, we the best out. Conversation debating on what's next now. Miss Lex Alexander all across the globe. You are now tuned in to the Counter Talk show. We are now live from that Counter Talk.
You are tuned in to that Counter Talk.
We are now live from that Counter Talk.
You are tuned in to that Counter Talk.
We are now live from that Counter Talk.
You are tuned in to that Counter Talk.
We are now live from that Counter Talk.
You are tuned in to that Counter.
All right, back to Counter Talk. Okay, back to Counter Talk. Okay, yeah. But thank y'all for tapping back in to the next part of this Trip in the Tribulation series. So I got down and dirty into my findings of 2018 and 2019, how that shit ultimately helped me grow in a certain aspect. Yeah, that's what I say. This episode right here, this episode right here is about the beloved, iconic 2020. Now let me say, I have never experienced a year like 2020. It was something just so surreal about it for me. I remember in February of that year, just being down and out and just because I'm trying to figure shit out because I left a home I was at. I was trying to figure shit out, and I just never forget saying, I wish I just had a lot of time to just study and research instead of having to constantly be in this mode I'm having to be in right now. Shit was just slow in general, and next thing you know, here comes March 2020. The shutdown shit happened. You got people nerves on edge. Shit is just crazy. And it was just kind of for me spiritually, it was time for me to go home. I reached out to my mom, Mama, this is what it is. It's really been going on. Because I've been trying to keep shit all sweet to you or whatever because I don't want you stressing and worrying and shit. But this is what's been going on. She bring your ass home. So I went to Mississippi because that's where she was at the time. From there, it was all that healing your inner child shit and all this shit. That's when I was able to really get to do it in hindsight. The world was just really experiencing this big global update, and I don't know if other people understood what was really going on. That shit was spiritual. The coronavirus, this shit, the corona of the sun, and the light codes alone in 2020 was crazy, man. And seeing how the shit started shifting, people had an opportunity to just be home and really get to know themselves. They couldn't really just escape in previous years, those few months when shit was just really, really sealed down and all of the fear mongering was going on. It was just crazy. Me on a personal tip, I'm looking at it I could just be here and I can really find myself again. So being back home, my mom was like being able to get back into my writing, and I really love like herbal medicine and natural healing and shit like this. So I'm studying ways to, create my own like, cooch oil, which I do have. It's called puss oil. Okay. It's basically like a yoni oil, vaginal maintenance oil. Like you honor yourself with that shit, baby. And it just has some really good benefits. So I was able to like come up with that in 2020. Fuck. The spiritual journey and the healing journey began to coincide. So I'm able to just be at peace for the time I was allotted, at least. Cause my mama wanted to keep it real as people. Like she like, okay, like I get you doing your meditation shit and writing and creating this and the third, but what's your plan? What you gonna do? What you doing? That was some real shit. I knew I didn't want to be a teacher. That's what I had been avoiding for the fucking longest. But she was just trying to, convince me to be back into that. We going at about the all type of stuff. I was able to see my mom as like a woman, as a woman, as a person. I got to know her in a whole different light. She told me things that she had never told me before. We just really connected. But at the same time, befriending her came with limits. She still had a time frame. She wanted me to be realistic about what it is I want to do. Cause to her mind, she like, man, child smart as fuck. Why she not doing XYZ or XY? I know that's probably fucking crazy as hell as a parent. You knowing that this person is smart, this and the third, but this person is literally creative at heart and free herself as far as like being boxed and confined and miserable in this one little career. Like, despite me working the jobs I have been working post college, I find happiness in them. It's joy, and I'm moving around, getting to know different kinds of people. I'm getting to hear different perspectives. For me, it's a free flowing environment. I don't think she understands it being like a professional for, at that time, almost 30 years. That shit look crazy to her. She came up through that New Jack Swing HBCU colorful clothes time. It's like, girl, we in a whole nother time period. The sky's the limit. You are able to pursue whatever is your like, anything you like, and you're able to really have access to all these different resources, and that's what makes that shit so cool. So 2020 was me dabbling back into my general like interests, what it is I would like to do. I was able to like start my outline for my novel idea. I did like a ebook. Like I was able to just brainstorm and come up with all this different shit, and it just felt good. But at the same time, I felt that lingering energy in my mind, like, okay, yeah, you having fun, but I was working, but it wasn't to her standard. She wanted to see me doing what she believed I should be doing. We're in a better space now. Like her now, she gets that as long as I'm taking care of myself and I'm happy, she good. And I thank her for us being able to like get to that point. But yeah, social media began like hyping like a lot of things in 2020, it was times when it was like everybody was kind of like bonding on the internet, but then it's all this other crazy shit jumping out. You got conspiracy shit coming out, niggas getting superpowers at the end of the year. On top of that, it's all this fucking election bullshit going on at the time. It was just an active ass year. And the veils began lifting that year. Like, okay, now it's on you to see this shit for what it is. Some people chose, I guess, to just keep subscribing to whatever it is they chose to, and then some went off on the deep end as far as like, okay, this is the real truth. And once you get to the root, you see what the truth really is. Most times you become humored by it. It's should be funny. Not everything, but a lot of it should be ironic and a lot of it should be funny. So 2020 was just exposing all this shit. People still, trying to tap dance and distract folks. But you got truth tellers starting to kind of come out. You just see the shift in consciousness starting to happen at that time. And it's crazy because it was 4 years ago, but that shit felt like not that long ago. But even though it wasn't that long ago, but you get what I'm saying, like not 4 years ago, god damn. So yeah, all the social media hypes and the different energy grabs, I just began to get really sensitive to what I consumed on social media. So I began I like deactivating my shit sometimes because like I just want to kind of just go there and remind like, oh, you not even logged in, so you really don't even need to get on this shit. It be like that type of train of thought. We just kind of want to tune this shit out. It's like we be processing so much unnecessary shit sometimes. Like, it'd be good to, update yourself on what's going on, what's currently going on, what's in the current, as far as like that outer shit. But imagine swimming and trying to stare into like your phone. Oh, okay then. See what the fuck this sound like? Like it's a certain amount of like shit you should be like processing. It'd be like system overload if I'm already like a pretty my mind's pretty fucking active and my imagination is pretty fucking active, and then it's like I'm entertained by some shit, but some of that shit be like, man, what the hell? Or it be kind of like that. My relationship with social media just started kind of changed that year. It was like cool, but I guess I kind of started kind of backing away as far as like sharing a lot of details about myself or everything that's going on. Like, I just started getting really, really turned off from me doing it. It was just kind of like, there's no point in me doing it. I choose to more so now, like, I'm gonna creatively channel this shit. Like, some shit come out, motherfucker, like, oh, I remember that. Or I remember some shit like that happened at times with that girl. It'd be funny. It'll be kind of like that in a sense. It's a tool though. Ultimately, social media is a fucking tool. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, social media is a fucking tool. Internet in itself is a tool. That phone is a tool. Like, it's really a very like a unlimited ass resource. You can really like surfing the web and surfing through life. This shit is similar. Fuck, they copying everything from the real world and putting it into this digital format. That's how profound it is. Like, everything is comparable. The World Wide Web, connecting people. I remember I went down like my etymology hole with local area network, a local area network, and how that's how like Wi-Fi works, basically. A local area network, LAN. What are the first three letters of language? LAN, right? Then kind of like dived off into gauge. How gauge measure. It's a unit. I mean, a measurement tool. Like, you're using it to measure some shit. So it's like it hit me like, whoa. Language, the local area network. Language gauges the land. That's why I'm really trying to fuck with like learning another language and shit. Okay, this type of shit was like coming to me though in 2020. As far as like, man, this shit is, look what's happening. Like, looking out deep off into like the night sky, seeing the stars, seeing them flicker back, and just kind of like, this shit is beautiful. And then you look and you see like a satellite, and you see the things that are up in the sky that's mimicking what's down here. I started having these type of thoughts and shit like in 2020. That's my consciousness shifting. I'm starting to understand energy and grounding and protecting and covering and speaking love and life into others. Like, all this shit started raining down in 2020. The twin flame shit, after me just kind of like tuning it out for the years I was like in that relationship and all that, I tuned the twin flame shit out. It was just kind of like a figment of my imagination. Fuck, I guess that's why I really just want to keep calling it, because it was like a crazy natural high. That shit was crazy. But being in contact with just divine masculines in general, while coming back into my like divine feminine energy, it was good. I was inspired. I was creating. I created vivid senses, like with healing products, and I felt like I was really in my element. I knew what it is that I had planned for myself to do. But my mind like, hey, what is it that you're doing? Because she just looked at this shit like, you just got a bunch of hobbies, my nigga. What the fuck? Is you about to go teach some of these kids? Or you trying to like, well, what's up? And I get that. But that pressure, that feeling just made me feel so fucking uncomfortable in a way that it was like, okay, I've healed my inner child. Now, okay, the adult me, it's like, hey, it's time to bust a move. It's not meant for you to be here under these circumstances anymore. It's like it served its purpose. So, wrapping up 2020, kind of began this next level of like reclusion. that I had already kind of was dabbling in. I felt this pressure and I felt change coming. I tapped in with my reader lady that year as far as like actually tapping in, and it was just amazing. Shout out to the Sublime Empress, aka Ribbon Nigga Mama, aka the most amazing person. Like, she is just great. She is always a kind soul. She gave me so many gems and, man, just spoke life and knowing and kept that shit simple. At the end of 2020, I was like, man, I'm trying to go to Austin. I want to go to Austin, Texas. It's where I felt like it was for me to go. Realistically, I didn't end up there, but it motivated me. I felt like I was trying to get there. I was understanding like alignment, like getting back in alignment, busting a move type shit. So much that she told me and how much she kept it real. Our first like conversation, baby, I had to go to sleep after that. It was really a real fucking read, and it helped me to see for myself. It was a divine messenger type deal. So I trusted and I knew and I believed because like my faith had come back to me. I was able to like be out in nature every day. Like being out in Mississippi was like great. Being able to go out to like the reservoir, just water, but the energy wasn't for me to like relax in. It was for me to like heal enough to keep motherfucking going. Sometimes you need just enough time to sit the fuck down, to get yourself together, to pull yourself together, so you can keep the fuck going. It's not the final destination. It ain't a bunch of fucking logs, and you win shit. Ain't none of it. You gotta keep going. Okay, baby. So 2020 was healing. It was revealing. And I was kneeling to God in gratitude, meditating, tapping in on my ancestors, like spirit, showing all these crazy signs, like all of it became clear to me in 2020. Like my vision started clearing up. I got a taste of that 5D shit. I got a taste of what I am to be doing. And then here come 2021. It's like, yeah, it's been nice, huh? Okay, now it's time to hop back into this shit. Time to hop back in. Like, you licked your wounds, you healed, you got your weight back up, got your mind back right. Because the shit I came out of, it was like, I had to heal. I had to get that love from my mom. I had to get her, like, she had to get on my ass all over again. I had to grow up again right quick. Because that shit had me like, oh, fucking, like, man, a alien baby. 2020 is one of my favorite years ever. It's literally like, now granted, I look at it like it was life before 2017 and then after. But with 2020, as far as like collectively, globally, that motherfucker there was the real global reset. And on the spiritual side, on the conscious side, it was a clean slate for everyone to tap back in to whatever source it is they believe in. Now, a lot of motherfuckers, they went against their nature and their knowing and belief because of, I ain't gonna touch on it right now, but you know what I'm talking about? They made their choice. That shit's spiritual to me. That COVID shit had people beefing and everything. Like, motherfuckers feel like other motherfuckers don't deserve to do anything or what. Man, that shit was crazy, but it just showed on that herd mentality shit. It just showed how these fucking social experiments really be doing they want on people. But outside of it, you're able to just kind of decode it. You look at, man, you getting your coins like on Mario. Okay, I figured this out. I'm not about to attune my energy and feed off into this shit. No, that's not what you do. That's not what you do. You gotta keep your focus on that mission. And that's what 2020 was all about. Yeah, it was a good year. For me, it was healing and revealing, like I said. So this was the 2020 episode of Tripped Out in Tribulation. Because even though this shit started off rough, it got real good and sweet in the middle, and then at the end, it was drying up. The motherfucking hourglass was running out. It was time for me to sit back out on the motherfucking open sea type shit. Cause I really been flowing this like shit. That's how I know like what's for me is for me. Can't nobody tell me different. They don't know. They don't know. I know who do know. Gratitude. All right. Next episode, diving off into 2021. Be on the lookout. See what the fuck happened in my thoughts on that part of this journey. It was a lot of acceleration. Okay, yeah, that's all I say. It was really accelerated. Like 21 was accelerating. And 22 was more so for the darkness, internet type shit. Not no bad way, but really just being in some kind of personal void to explore. And then go get into 23, 24, and we here. All right. Thank y'all. See you. Well, not see you. Fuck. Thank y'all. Tap in for the next episode.